Hey everybody, Jeff Morrell here with Mike Benton, head of Benton Capital, founder of Benton Capital, all around great guy. Mike, good to have you here. Guys, we're going to be talking about mortgages, interest rates, programs, all kinds of stuff. Stick around. Here we go. Mike Benton, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jeff. I love your video, man. Looks great.
Thank you very much. Makes me want to travel again. We haven't traveled for a while, I'm like, shoot, all these memories I've got from traveling, it's time to get out and go,
Amen. Amen. Just booked a trip to Scottsdale here in a couple of weeks. So
you're going to Scottsdale? Are you? We're going to Cabo. We got that booked for March.
There you go.
There we go. I'm looking forward to that one. So
that's awesome.
Thanks for getting on, man. I know you're super busy. You got a lot going on out there. Let's just let's get right into it a little bit. Tell everybody real quick, just quick little blurb about yourself. The ones that don't know who you are. You starting Benton Capital, the whole deal. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm a serial real estate entrepreneur. If you name it in real estate, I've probably done it. But here over the past 5 years, my main focus has been real estate mortgage lending. And for the past 3 years, I've been here in Colorado Springs. And we've opened up 6 other offices in the past 34 months.
Yeah, you guys are moving and cranking. So anyway, we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Tell everybody, just catch us up a little bit. What's going on right now with rates and stuff? What do you see happening?
It's been a fast and furious start to the year. Not necessarily in a good way, but was anticipated. So rates are up as kind of anticipated, but it's, like I said, fast and furious. We're up pretty significantly since the first of the year.
Okay.
Today, the 10-year only made a slight move up 1 basis point, but we finished at 176. And for a frame of reference, we started the year in between, I think it was like 132 on the 10-year. So for those of you that don't know, 10 years is a good correlation to where kind of the 30-year tracks. So if you look at a 10-year chart, you'll see a trend. And that trend right now, unfortunately, for rates are up. But, we're still at historically low levels, and things are, as you know, still really red hot here in Colorado Springs. So I don't see things softening too much, but, it does impact payment a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Can you do this? Because there are people out there that will watch this who maybe even, first-time home buyers, or they're thinking about buying, this spring, this summer, whatever. But can you just in layman's terms, just to hit something like, explain what that means in terms of just, what that can do to their payments? The ones that are kind of waiting on things a little bit, if they got the money to do it right now and want to do it now, why would now be better than waiting 6 months? If the rate goes up even half a point, what does that do for their payments?
I mean, on a typical like $350,000, or even say a $400,000 loan amount, you're looking at anywhere from $100 to $200 in payment that just were up, right? Like, so if you were to lock in a rate on, December the 31st last year versus today, on a kind of a traditional, right, median home price here, putting down $50,000, taking out a $400,000 loan, your payment's up about $150 a month.
Right. So yeah. So just for realtors, we all know this, but I think it's just for people that might watch this that are thinking about getting into the market. It's just something to be mindful of. Whatever. Here's what you got.
You can't make decisions on yesterday's rates any longer.
It can make a difference.
Hey, let's look at today, and in a rising interest rate environment, we want to lock rates early, and so it's even more important, as you mentioned, get in the market now, and don't wait until spring or summer, because I think it could be even more competitive and slightly higher rates.
Yeah, for sure. And nobody has the crystal ball on this, but I don't know what's your forecast for this year? What do you think is going to happen as the year goes on here? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I was wrong last year because I thought we would be where we are today.
Really?
Probably spring and summer last year. So I do think we were all very fortunate to have a 2021 of lower interest rates where, the average rate was probably 2.99 to 3.25 was for conventional rates.
Yeah.
We're already well above that, almost, we're in the high threes today. I think by spring and summer we could see the mid fours. It's harder probably to predict towards the end of this year, but I think spring and summer, I think we all need to prepare ourselves for the mid fours for interest rates, and maybe high threes, low fours for government rates.
Okay. You think it could get up there in the fours?
I do. And again, in historical perspective, I mean, pre-pandemic, that's where we were pretty much. Maybe slightly lower than that, but 2018, 2019, that's exactly where we are, or where we were. So we've already retraced back. Today we're sitting where we were in the summer of 2020.
Right. We're kind of spoiled by all these rates.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I know you can probably recall. I mean, I remember in 2008, 2007, 2008, we were, mid sixes, low sevens.
Yeah.
So,
and everybody was going like, wow, that was awesome.
Right.
I heard those stories, my parents and stuff, 18, 19% back in the day, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The only way to slow this thing down, I mean, the Fed is, Goldman Sachs came out with something this morning where they're predicting 4 different, short-term rate hikes this year. Right. And just the Fed backing off buying mortgage-backed securities. That's what's driving this. They're pricing it in early, I think, and that's what we're seeing in the bond market.
Okay. What are some programs you guys got going right now? Can you share that?
So one new one that's pretty cool that we closed a couple last month here locally, which was we have a new gap loan program, which for those of you who don't understand, like it's more like a bridge loan. So we take the equity from a buyer's existing home and then allow them to go ahead and buy that next house without selling their existing home. So it gives them kind of peace of mind into this competitive marketplace where they know they can take some time selling their house before finding the, getting it sold.
That's awesome. So taking the equity out of the house they own right now, buy the next house, they turn around, put their house on the market, and then somehow that gets
paid off. Yep, exactly.
Very cool. What's the time limit on them in terms of selling that house to get that paid?
So we want it on the market within a couple of weeks, and they can, 3 to 6 months. There's not a definite time frame, but the one we did most recently, both of them actually. One, we freed up someone's eligibility by giving them, we basically refied it. And then the other one, they already had it on the market. They just didn't have a contract. And right after closing, they got it under contract, and we received a payoff, I think a week or two later.
Sure.
So, they can hold it for 6 months if they need to. And one kind of cool caveat as well is, let's say we have an owner that is short a little bit of extra cash flow, and there's some deferred maintenance on their property. We can give them $10,000, $15,000 to get their house ready for market as well.
That's awesome. That's a great program.
Yeah, it's nice to have something to compete against some of these other kind of bridge loan, gap loan type lenders like Knock and I think Homeward that, in my opinion, maybe take a little bit of advantage of that and charge the borrower a significantly higher interest rate on that end loan.
Right. That's really cool, actually, because that's been such an issue the last couple of years. Things are moving so fast. I don't know. Lane and I just put a house on the market on Friday. And Marisol helped us to do an open house over the weekend, so she's awesome working with you. But we're going under contract today. We got like 4. We're just weeding our way through the 4 offers. Whatever for. So 459,000, whatever it was, I forget what we listed it for, somewhere in there. But that's the issue sometimes is things are selling so fast, and it's like for these sellers and. What am I going to buy? Whatever, like for them to be able to go find that one they buy and then put their house in the market.
Yeah, they're nervous. With all, they have a reason to be nervous to a point, right? If they get their house sold, they get it closed, and then they're homeless, right? No one wants to be homeless. Yeah. So this just allows them a way to go out shopping now before they put that home on the market.
For sure.
And go ahead and access that equity.
Nice. So that you did a couple of those closings last month, you said?
We did, yeah. I think 2 or 3 of them, and they all went really, really well. And cool. One of the things that I'm finding to be really nice right now is we underwrite all of our files up front. So when we are submitting offers to folks like you guys who are heavier on the listing side, we're coming in and saying, hey Jeff, this is almost as good as cash because the only thing we need is the appraisal and title, and we're closing these things in 10 to 14 days. which, again, if there's a lease back the seller needs to do, it allows them to access their cash quicker. If the house is vacant, allows them to, pay off their loan even quicker if there's a loan on the property. And it just gives the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and the borrower peace of mind that everything's been reviewed up front. And that's unlike anybody that I'm aware of in town, which is nice.
That's awesome. Very cool. Any other programs that you want to hit while we're on here? We'll do this again here in a few weeks, maybe catch everybody up. But is there anything else you'd want to talk about while we're on here?
I think so. We are coming out with a new, our own proprietary down payment assistance program. So one that is a little bit more competitive than a CHFA loan, that will allow a borrower to also include some of their closing costs, as opposed to, as most of you agents know out there, usually either, the big kind of missing piece of the puzzle is closing costs, where a couple years ago we were able to get those credited by the seller. In this market, it's going to be almost impossible to get the seller to pay any of those costs. We're coming out with a new program that I should have information in the next week or so that'll allow us to cover the down payment and another 1% to 2% of their closing costs. So really solid product.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. You guys got some things going on. Definitely. Well, guys, just to share, we got connected. How long have we been? I don't know, a couple of years now.
I think so. Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years working together a little bit. Mike's done a lot for a lot of us over here. I know all of us. Well, so many of us over here at EXP are using you, and your company. You got connected with us, and you've done a couple of trainings, with some of our groups, and of course, you sponsor our lunch and help come in to do that. And I know you work with a lot of different companies, agents all over town. You guys got some big things that are happening. So how many agents, how many people you got working with you now?
So my internal team has 7 of us. And then I think we have 16 people total in our office here in Colorado Springs.
Nice. And where are you open other places now? Where at?
So we're in Denver, Denver, Colorado, Boise, Idaho, Greenville, South Carolina, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, and Danville, Virginia.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, we're getting out there. We love working with EXP though.
Yeah, heck yeah. Are you traveling around some of those places? You get out there and go. You got people running them for you.
I'm fortunate to have other leaders that are able to do it. Most of those, so South Carolina, Virginia, Sarasota, Florida. I've never even been to the physical offices. Okay. Nampa, Idaho, which is outside of Boise. Been there. Obviously, been to Denver quite frequently. But luckily, we have great leaders in those locations, kind of just following our model and growing, kind of like it's very similar to how we are growing.
Very cool. Good. Well, guys, I would tell you seriously, if you've never thrown a loan out there to Mike and his team, I would say just do it, give it a shot, see what they can do, because you guys have been awesome for us. I mean, you've done so much, and you know what I love. I got to say, Mike. I mean, and if I can just share this, it was probably about 1.5 years ago, and there were some growing pains, just different things going on, whatever. But and whatever, there's always going to be challenges. You're building a business and stuff, but. Man, the way you guys jumped in and just fixed things, and now you're up and running, things are just moving. Like it's so good, And then the help that you give us. I mean, Marisol coming out yesterday and Sunday to help us with that open house, whatever. And I would tell you guys, go and do an open house, and you need a lender, come sit out. Seriously, give these guys a call. They got a team of people, and it's just nice to have another person there, As an agent, you don't want to be out there by yourself. A lot of times my wife was doing that one. I don't want her sitting in that house by herself. So
absolutely.
To have another agent come with her, or to have, especially, a lender to be there as well. Great for you guys. So anyway, Mike Benton, Benton Capital, these guys have been phenomenal for us. It's great to have them right here in town. So you see the scroll across the bottom, you can go to their website, bentoncap.com. That's a good website for you guys,
yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah, well, I appreciate all the support, Jeff, and appreciate everything that you guys are doing here locally and across other markets as well. And we're happy to be associated with such a great brand and great agents as well here locally.
We appreciate all that you're doing. What's a good phone number if one of these agents or buyers that might watch this, they want to give you guys a call just to touch base and talk that stuff? What's a good phone number for you guys?
719-331-5443. So 719-331-5443.
Great. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. Anything else you want to throw out before we end it?
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just to understand that we still have historically low rates, right? I mean, yes, they're up, but the market will ebb and flow, as I always say, and it's how we react to these ebbs and flows that make us professionals, and educating our clients in a way that makes sense for them and their families, and as you said, now still a great time to buy, and rates are still at historically low levels. And for everything that I've seen, it's still a lot less expensive to own a home in Colorado Springs than it is to rent one.
Yeah.
So keep those things in mind in
Rental market's
2022.
crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The prices there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Competing offers there too, I've heard.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, no, things are moving. I know all the agents here. I mean, we have such a low inventory, whatever. We're going to see that continue to pick up as we go into spring. But, a lot of homes came on the market last week. But I know, like, even for ours, I mean, 3 days later, it's under contract.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we won a couple, but we'd like to win more.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, Mike, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Guys, thanks again. And we'll do this again. Let's do this again here in a couple weeks, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You got it.